I think it puts Houston right back in the mix. We all know that James Harden was a top 2 MVP candidate, was the MVP last season, not the one that just passed. We know what he brings to the table, and the relationship with him and Chris Paul wasn't ideal at the end. Having said all of that, James Harden reuniting with Russell Westbrook makes them incredibly formidable. He can't be guarded. He's bigger, he's stronger, and faster than Chris Paul, not to mention a little bit younger as well. Houston obviously is in the mix. Yet again, this is a move that had to be made. I have no problem with Houston making it whatsoever. I think from a talent perspective, it puts them right back in title contention picture. My only question mark is whether or not Mike D'Antoni can coach them on that level. We know he can win regular season games. We know he can win a couple of playoff series. But can he coach them in the manner that they need to be coached to get them over the hump? That's the lone question mark about the Houston Rockets after this deal. I see no other question marks to think of.
Okay, so Stephen A. thinks the Rockets, and rightfully so, I might add, are at least in contention to win a title and in contention in the West. Who's the favorite in the West for you?
The favorite in the West for me probably is between the Clippers and the Utah Jazz.
Where do you put the Rockets?
I hover them around 4 or 5 with the Lakers and Denver, depending on injuries and players continue to develop. But one of the things that also allowed this deal to happen is the outspoken and respectfully flamboyant owner that the Houston Rockets have in a different way from the Clippers. They get a chance to see all of these big names popping up in different places, and they're like, what about us? I'm willing to pay the luxury tax to have James Harden and Russell Westbrook on my team. And Stephen A. just alluded to something that I just acknowledged. If we're talking about can Mike D'Antoni coach those two guys, at some point the question probably is going to be asked, couldn't Billy Donovan coach Paul George and Russell Westbrook as well? So these things are going to continue to play out as we have.
Here's the deal. I mean, we'll say where do these guys stand? Like, here's the deal. The other guy's trying to win also. Like, Houston's gotten better, but so have the Lakers. So have the Clippers. Denver's not going anywhere. Utah's backcourt, let me tell you something. Connolly and Donovan Mitchell, that might be the best backcourt in the West. So, like, look, have they gotten better yet? Are they going to be in the conversation yet? But, like, people like trashing Mike D'Antoni or even trashing Billy Donovan. Here's the deal. Those teams are good teams. But there are other teams that have good combinations and good players. And you know what? They didn't win either. Because you know what? You had the Golden State Warriors. All right? You had other teams that were better than them.
How about this? These 7 teams in the West are going to make the playoffs.
It's crazy.
Clippers, Lakers, Denver, Utah, Portland, who has a terrific backcourt in the Mama's Boys, and Houston. And I didn't even mention the Spurs, who we always sleep on, or the Warriors, who are going to have.
Are the Warriors going to make the playoffs? That's the big question. Everyone's talking about New Orleans. I don't see New Orleans making
They'll make the playoffs over Sacramento, the Mavs, and Pelicans.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Well, real quickly, so with all of this, where do you have the Rockets?
I've got them 5th. I've got the Clippers, Lakers, Denver, Jazz, and Houston. I probably would flip the Jazz and Denver.
Man.
And I'm not sure the Lakers. I think the Lakers are the most overvalued team because I think 5 years ago, said yesterday, they would be really good. And today, I don't see them being as good, even with Anthony and LeBron. In terms of, you think they're the second best team in the West? You just said they weren't. You just said the Jazz.
I think they're a top 4 team.
I know.
I don't think they're overrated.
I had them as the top 4, but you're looking at me
Vegas
like
still thinks they're winning it all.
Put them as number 2 then. Why are you so high in the Jazz?
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of times betting lines and odds are based on teams' popularity.
Totally.
But if you're going to find a sneaky bet on somebody, I put my money on Utah.
Okay.
Well, Utah's good.
And a lot of people would agree with you on that too. They've made some good moves that people don't even talk about. Either way, at the end of the day,
I would.
This is at the end of the day, the NBA is going to be a lot of fun.
This is off the top of my head, which I'm not the smartest person.
Goodbye.
I think Utah not only is an ascending team, I don't think they have a player on their roster that's been an all-star.
Everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.